Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Getting back to work on the Cobra in this video. Last video left off, I was trying to work on the rear end and getting the brakes finalized, and then ran into some issues, and it's now kind of escalated and blown up into me rebuilding the rear end. So this video, I'm going to get back to work in that area. I need to pull the drive shaft. I'm going to pull the transmission because that was something else that was on my list, and I'm going to have to drain the fluid out of it anyway to pull the drive shaft, and then continue on hopefully with the rear end. I have parts on order, waiting for the carbon discs for the traction lock rebuild kit, all that fun stuff. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get the camera turned around and get back to work on the Cobra. All right, so back under the car. Plan of attack is I need to get the transmission drained so I can pull the drive shaft. As you can kind of see there, the drive shaft's at a pretty heavy angle, and I really can't spin the pinion gear, or the ring and pinion gear. It's not wanting to turn just based on that. It's kind of bound up with this thing at full droop. So I'm gonna go ahead, I need to get the transmission drained, and then I can go ahead and start removing the drive shaft. And I'll try and wipe out the last little bit of gear oil that's sitting in the bottom here of the pumpkin before I get to that. So a little bit of cleanup work here at the moment, get that stuff done, get the transmission drained, get the drive shaft out, and then I can start messing around with the rear end. All right, quick update. Transmission is pretty much drained, just last few little drops coming out, and the drive shaft is out. A funny little adorable tiny drive shaft that it is. 12 millimeter, 12 point wrench is what you need. Thankfully, versus a Mustang, you have a lot more room around the drive shaft and pinion yoke. I was able to get 3 of them loosened with it in one position, and then I had to jack up the rear end because it was not turning at all because it was bound up due to that droop. Spun it around enough where I could get the 4th out, and then everything came out no problem. So that's out, so now I can go ahead and spin the rear end around, all I need for doing the installation. But I am going to be waiting on those parts for a few days. So I think what I'm going to do next actually is start the transmission removal process, since that was something that was on my to-do list for this off season anyway, due to it needing a rebuild or refurb, something like that. At the very least, some new synchros and stuff. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get back to work and start getting the transmission out. Thankfully, I shouldn't say this yet because I've never taken one out of a Factory 5 car. I'm hoping it will be as easy as taking out the 4 bolts that hold the transmission to the bell housing. First, I'll remove the rear mount completely, so I'll loosen it from the frame mount, and then take the mount off the transmission to give me some pivot room. Disconnect the few wires, remove the shifter handle from the shifter, and I'm thinking if I do that, I can kind of spin it sideways and like cock it 90 degrees, and then I would have enough space to slide it backward and out. Again, I will find out. I've never done this before. The car was built when I bought it, so I didn't know what was involved in putting the transmission in, but we will see if this is a possibility or not. So gonna be finding out soon. Wish me luck. A real quick, shifter is out. That was pretty straightforward. It's just the 4 Phillips screws that hold the trim ring in, and then just slide that up on the shaft a little bit, and then you can get to the 2 bolts. Those were a 1/2 inch socket to remove those. So I'm going to get back down underneath the car and start working on the rear mount. There's no wiring to the transmission, at least not in mine, because I don't have any backup lights or anything. So it's really straightforward. It's pretty much just going to be getting the speedo cable removed, which I believe it's just a 3/8 head bolt that holds that into the transmission tail shaft housing, and then the rear mount, and then the 4 bolts that hold the transmission to the bell housing. So I'm going to get back to work underneath, and we'll see how things go. All right, quick update under the car. You can see the shifter cable, or not shifter label, the speedo cable has been removed. It was a 7/16, not a 3/8. So just one single bolt holds that in. Again, no wires connected. I have the lower motor mount nuts and washers removed. Those were 9/16. So now I need to remove the actual motor mount. I will say that in trying to wiggle the transmission up and down at this point, since that is loose there, it's one of the shifter bolts up here on the other side is hitting this beam here. That's basically the biggest limiter as far as pivoting it up and down. I'm going to see if I can get the motor mount out once I remove the 2 bolts that hold it to the transmission, and then we'll see where things go from there. All right, update time. As you can see, the rear mount is out. The bolts that hold it into the transmission are 5/8. Pulled those out, no problem. And then also, as you can see, the transmission is loose from the bell housing. Those are all 15mm bolts. Ford, again, loving to do the whole some metric, some standard. The bottom two, pretty easy to get out. The upper passenger side, not terrible, just need a bunch of extensions and a breaker bar. This one is a pain because, as you can see right there, you have the retainer for the reverse gear lever, and you really don't want to pull that out unless you are disassembling the transmission, which, I mean, I plan on doing that, but not everybody's going to, because if that arm shifts and you can't get everything put back together, guess what? You are going to be disassembling the transmission. So anyway, I ended up using, a half-inch breaker bar and some long extensions and a little bit of a swivel, and eventually got it out. It was not fun, but it did come loose. So that being said, once I got everything loose, I decided it was time to try and get the transmission out. And unfortunately, no amount of rocking or twisting is going to get the shifter to clear the hole up there. So sadly, I have to remove the shifter from the transmission to get it out. I mean, hopefully I'll be able to get it out once the shifter is out. So those appear to be 13mm head bolts. So I'm going to remove those. Hopefully I can get the shifter removed. It's going to be fun getting the new one, or getting it reinstalled once this transmission's back in the car, if that is the way I need to go. One thing I was noticing is that a lot of the issues with like the pivoting it and whatnot are due to, like, you have these little tabs right here for old like wiring harnesses that clipped in on both sides. I might grind some of these off because the one on the passenger side, especially right there, hits that bar, so that is what really limits some of your movement as far as like pivoting and twisting. So that one I'm pretty sure is definitely coming off because it appears to be the biggest hindrance of movement with the transmission. So anyway, I'm going to get back to trying to remove the shifter, and then I will follow up with an update. All right, time for an update. I did take the shifter out. That wasn't very hard at all. Again, probably gonna be much more difficult getting it back in, but yeah, that's removed. But as you can see, the transmission is still there because this is as far back as it will go. The bottom is bottomed out there on the fixed chassis mount, and the top is maxed out up there on the cross brace. So it's actually staying in place pretty nice right there. But as you can see, the front shaft has not cleared the bell housing. So what I'm thinking needs to be done is the bell housing needs to be loosened and removed, and then just kind of swung back against the transmission, then tip the transmission downward, and hopefully the bell housing will come out from between the two. So kind of a convoluted assembly disassembly process, but I'm thinking that is really the only way that this is going to happen. I'm surprised it's not a little more serviceable the way it was engineered, being that these are like supposed to be race cars and whatnot. But anyway, yeah, so that is where I'm at. It looks like I'm going to have to start unbolting the bell housing. All right, update time. As you can see, bell housing's loose and just hanging in place. First, remove the starter. Those were two 7/16 bolts. And then there should be 6 remaining bell housing bolts, like 2 on each side and then 2 at the top. Those are all 5/8 head. That gets those out. You also will have to remove the clutch cable. If you have a cover, I forget what size it is, maybe like a quarter or something like that. Or 3/8. Anyway, one bolt holds the cover on that goes over the cable, and then you just have to use in my case, I have the adjustable cable, and it was a 1/2-inch jam nut, 1/2-inch main nut that holds it in place on the clutch fork. Remove that, and then with the bell housing loose, I was able to pull the clutch fork out with the throwout bearing. It's sitting right there. So yeah, the plan is now to try and just wiggle the bell housing and transmission loose and get everything out. The transmission sits in place kind of jammed between the mount bracket there, and then the top of it is kind of up against the bottom of the floor / bracing. So anyway, it stays in place there, no problem. So yeah, I'm gonna try and wiggle things loose and see if I can get the bell housing out and then the transmission. Well, that was a fail. I'm guessing some people have already been down this road before, but yeah, it does not appear that there's any way to get the transmission and bell housing out of this car without pulling the engine, or at the very least moving the engine about 4 inches forward. I tried rotating and manipulating the bell housing however I could, and yeah, there's just not enough clearance to clear the clutch and input shaft from the transmission. So yeah, looks like the engine has to be loosened from the mounts and moved forward. So I'm not really happy about that. That definitely sucks, but there's just not enough room to move the transmission back and get the bell housing out and then get the transmission out. So yeah, need to kind of go back to square one on this because the transmission definitely needs to come out. You can see all the oil residue in here. I mean, when I separated the bell housing from the back of the engine and kind of tilted the bell housing, oil came running out of it. So there's definitely oil pooling in there. So I'm pretty sure it's either rear main or galley plugs or something leaking on the back of the engine, which, I know I've had an oil leak back there since I've got the car. So yeah, still need to do this. So I kind of need to put together a new plan on how I want to do this. I'm thinking it'll be hook a cherry picker up to the top of the engine and just kind of lift it off the mounts and pull it forward a little bit. I'm not going to pull the engine completely, but that is going to involve, loosening exhaust components, double checking clearance on wires, hoses, cables, all that fun stuff. So yeah, need to step back and regroup. All right, well, with that, I think that's where I'm going to end this one. I'm not going to call it a fail, as I did plan on with a lot of the other things I want to do in this off season, draining coolant, draining oil, taking the front cover off, doing quite a bit of work, taking the top end off because there was a slight intake manifold leak that I need to redo. So it's not a complete loss that I'm going to now have to basically tear all that stuff off the engine, remove the engine motor mount bolts, and lift and pull the engine forward about 4 inches to get the transmission out. So not the end of the world, but definitely not going to be done in this video. So yeah, I'm going to end this one here. Next video on this car will probably be back on the rear end because I should have the parts coming in the next day or so, and then I can walk through doing all that work. And then eventually we will get back to the engines and transmission stuff. So if you want to follow along, if you like what you're seeing, please hit like, please hit subscribe, please hit the notification bell. Subscriptions are appreciated. Definitely helps the channel. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. I do review them and I will reply. I do have a merch store selling some shirts and other items. If you want to check it out, go right ahead. There is a link in the description, as well as you'll probably see items under the video. Also do have a second channel related to firearms, so if you have any interest in that, there is a link in the description as well. And that being said, thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.